Hello and welcome back to the channel. As you may have noticed, I've got a new background. And I've also got new audio and new hair. So, I am Crown Jennings. Welcome to my YouTube video. Thank you very much for watching. I like telling stories and I've got a doozy for you. Such of a doozy, it's a two-parter. Yeah, two-parter. And by the way, in the second one, I almost died. Can you believe though that my death was not caused by these bad boys? These are the Heelys I wore. And they're important to the story. Just saying, just saying. Also, before I get started, which I know you guys are like, oh my gosh, could you stop talking and get to the point? Every Wednesday, I want to do a thing where I help you with problems or something. Kind of like those, ask things in the newspaper where it's like, I will help you with your romance and stuff like that. I want to help you guys in general. And so I want you guys to ask me some questions in the comment section or stuff like that. Anyway, let's get started with this story. This was, if I had to guess, it was either my sophomore or junior year in high school. Okay, so I kind of look the same except for my hair because I don't really change that much. Oh, and this is the outfit I was most likely wearing. If this outfit, if I were like a cartoon character, this is the outfit I wore all the time. And I also usually had a plaid little headpiece that matched my pants. And everyone's like, girl, you looking so fine. And I'm like, thank you. Anyway, so it's 6:35 in the morning. My grandmother drove me to school this year, and she brought her two puppies, Louie and Cinderella, and they're the cutest little things. And the grandma was already waiting for me in the car, and I was getting my shoes and getting dressed, and I was trying to hurry because she already was waiting for a while, and I have a habit, unfortunately, of driving my grandmother late, which means if she was late to drop me off at school, she was late to go to work, and I was a little poo-poo face about it, because I didn't want to get up until 10 minutes before we had to leave, because I knew I could get ready in time. As I'm picking out shoes, I look at my Heelys or a different pair of shoes I can wear, and I'm like, oh, I'll wear my Heelys, and I hear this still, soft, small voice inside of me say, don't wear your Heelys. And I'm like, it's fine. So I like grab him, put him in the car, and as we're leaving the community, which is like a mile out from my house, I'm like, oh crap, that could have been God. And of course some of y'all like non-believers are like, you're just crazy. No, God talks to people and I should have listened, and you'll hear why. Anyway, I was just so upset that not like so upset. I was like, God, please don't let it happen. Whatever's gonna happen to you, God, please. I don't want anything bad to happen. God, please, God, please. And like I was like, God, that wasn't you. Surely that wasn't you, God, please. And I'm just sitting there in the car getting like a little like angst up because I'm like, was that God? Was that not God? I don't stinking know. And now I'm upset. And to be honest, if I just told my grandmother, hey, I don't think God wants me to wear these shoes to school today, she would have turned around. But I didn't. We get to school, I'm wearing my Heelys, I'm heeling throughout the school. Like, it gets to the point where I'm, like, squealing faster than everyone else. I'm like, ha, suckers! Because I was that kind of gal. At lunch, a friend of mine who I usually sit and talk with the entire time, like, we have really cool, crazy conversations, and she just was having a bad day and didn't want to talk. And inside of me, I'm like, oh, man, there must be, like, something wrong with me. She doesn't want to talk to me about what she's feeling bad about because I wanted to help her through it. She didn't want to talk to me at all. But the thing is I was also really insecure, and I didn't want to be insecure about the relationship. So I'm like, you know what? She wants her space. I'm going to give her space because I think that's what she wants. And I'm just going to, it's not my fault that she's having a bad day, and there's nothing I can do about it right now except for do what she wants. Not fully. I think for her it was true, but for some people that's not true. Anyway, so I do what she asked me to do, and I like leave her alone. And because I'm the type of person that needs attention or something, because I'm either on my phone 24/7, screen up to my face, looking at something, or I'm annoying the crap out of someone, because that'd be me. I decided to be and like go mess with somebody, and I saw my friend BB, and I think she got a new backpack like a couple days ago at this point. It was white and beautiful and oh so chic, and so I glide all over her like around, and I grab her backpack and I take it with me just to annoy her. I was only going to go around the long table and come back to her and give it back to her, or maybe hit her with her backpack. It wasn't heavy. By the way, it didn't feel like it had any books in there, like books. Just how it be. And I'm stopped by this lady I've never even seen before and haven't seen since, even though I've graduated, but I like haven't seen her since, who just sort of stopped me. Maybe I've seen her since. And she's like, excuse me? And I'm at her. I don't think she was talking to me because I'm an angel at school. Like, I'm a goody two-shoes. I may be loud and sometimes annoying, but I was only loud and got in trouble in one class for being loud. That's because I'm really quiet most of the time. I didn't have classes with people, thank God, because I stopped them from getting their work done, but I always got my work done. I didn't think she was talking to me, so I kept, like, wheeling around. Like, I was going to go around the table and go back, and she's like, hey, excuse me, hey. So I'm like, yes, ma'am, what can I do for you, ma'am? She's like, you can't wear those here. And I'm like, what? And she's like, you can't wear rollerblades indoors at school. And I'm like, oh, they're not rollerblades, they're Heelys. And she's like, that still counts. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And I'm like, And I was, like, ready to walk away, and she's like, you have to come with me. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, yes, ma'am. In my head, I'm like, what? And I almost start crying because I feel like I'm going to get in trouble and go to the principal's office. I don't think I know what this lady wants. So let's pause that story for a moment and just, like, stop. Okay, here's the thing. Out of all my times of wearing Heelys in school, I only fell once. And you're like, oh, the Heelys tripped you, that should be enough. No, it wasn't the Heelys' fault. It was a paper on the floor. Yeah, a paper on the floor that tripped me. And you're just like, oh, that's like not bad and all that. Yeah. And the thing is like during the class we were talking about bad grammar because it was an English class, and I go to write something on the board and I slip and fall, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. I slipped because of bad grammar, and I got like one person laugh. But still, I have never slipped because of my Heelys. Maybe I almost fell once because whenever you walk like heel down, like, you know, like that. And this lady, she starts walking me out of the thing. And I look over to my friend who's like, come here and give me my backpack, come here. And I'm like, no, I don't want this lady to think I stole my friend's backpack and then get yelled at for that and get in trouble. So I kept the backpack on like it was mine. And my friend's like, what's going on as well? Not my friend who was sad, the one that I took a backpack from her. And then I also saw my sister, Malia, the editor from Stories, from School Stories up there in the corner, if you want to watch that. That's there. Anyway, I almost start crying because I don't get in trouble. Like, the last time I got in trouble, which is a story for another time, is reading during reading class. That's a story that'll be coming up soon. Anyway, and I'm just leaving, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm gotten in trouble. They're gonna call my parents. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get a referral because I was wearing rollerblades in school. I can't believe it. And I almost start crying. Now it's the point where like, that voice in your head sure seems right. And the thing is I'll tell you a little bit later, but it just affected me for like the rest of my years at high school. So we leave, and my sister's like, what's going on? And I'm like, and we leave and go down the stairs and go around the corner, and she's taking me like to the special kids Ed's room, and she's looking through the shoes, and she's like trying to like joke around. She's like, we should have like new shoes just in case something like this happens. And I'm like, yeah, trying not to cry but crying inside. And she's like, oh, can you call like one of your parents or something and they could come and get me? And I'm like, oh, no, my dad's working, which he was. My mom's sleeping because she has to work, which she was. And my grandmother's working, which was true, but I also didn't mention my Nana, who was at home resting. And it's just like, oh, I didn't mention her because, well, she doesn't even come to school to give me shoes. I don't want to bother her. So we finally go into the clinic, and she's talking to the clinic lady, and she's like, ooh. And as you know, with Heelys, you wear the socks. So I take the shoes off, and I don't take the socks on and try on the flip-flops she gave me. And she's like, why don't you take your socks off? And I'm like, okay. I just didn't want to because I didn't want to take too long. So I take them off, and I still have the shoes now. They're silver flip-flops. I might put a picture up here. We leave, and I put the shoes on, and they're not comfortable because I don't wear flip-flops. And you're like, you're a Floridian, and you can't tell because of my background, which is very British with the British thing right here and the British flag. And the reason that is, by the way, side story, because I was really into British TV shows in my middle school years. So I leave, but the thing is I put my socks in the Heelys, but I don't put the Heelys in my bag because the bag isn't mine and it's white. And she kept looking at me weirdly and giving me side glances as she was walking me back to the lunchroom. And I'm like, crap, she's going to think I'm going to put them back on. She's going to get mad. Thank God that somebody came over and started talking to this woman, and I basically almost ran as fast as I could to get there. And she's like, before she left, she's like, make sure you don't wear those again. And I'm like, okay, yes, ma'am. So that means for the rest of my years there, because it was a respectful and right thing to do, I didn't wear those shoes ever again. Which is really, really annoying because those shoes are so much fun to wear, and I can't wear them anywhere else because somebody yelled at me at Walmart for wearing them even though they weren't working. Anyway, so I hurried back and gave my friend her backpack, and she's like, what happened? And I'm starting to like cry, and I'm like, I don't know. That is where we're going to end the video today. We're going to end it at lunch. And the next video, part 2, which should come out next Monday, if not sooner, is about how I basically sobbed in the middle of class. My teacher just was sassy with me, and two people gave me a look that really angered me. I almost died to a snake, and then I got persecuted after that. So, stick around for that video, but I can't believe that was the worst day of school, and it still is. But hey, that morning I prayed for an adventure, and God gave it to me. And now I've been more reluctant to ask for an adventure. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please, I can't wait for you guys to see part 2. I'm very excited to share it with you all, and if you've got any questions or anything you guys want to talk to me about or anything in the comment section below, please like the video so that way more people will like, and please share the videos with your friends and family so that way they can all be like, wow, this is a really weird story. I can't wait till part 2. Or there might already be a part 2 up, and if it is, I'll put it right there so that way you don't have to worry about it in the corner, whichever corner it is. Now you know, so that way you don't have to worry about it and look for it. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much for watching. Just thank you if you've made it this far. Just thank you very, very, very much. And why don't you join the ride and subscribe? Goodbye.